For this problem, we're asked to solve this equation for theta greater than or equal to 0 and less than 2 pi. So first thing that I notice with this equation is here we've got a cosine squared of theta. Here we've got cosine of 2 theta. Now there's a couple ways that we can do this problem. We can either replace this cosine of 2 theta with our double angle identity, or we can replace this cosine squared of theta with our power reducing identity. I'm going to suggest that we always, when we encounter a problem like this, always do the double angle identity. Because what can end up happening is if you use this power reducing identity, you may miss a couple of solutions. All right, so let's do the double angle identity, which is that cosine of 2 theta is equal to 2 cosine squared of theta minus 1. Now there's a couple of double angle identities that we have for cosine, but we chose the one that only has cosine in it because we don't want to introduce a sine that will create more complication with this problem. We want everything to be in terms of cosine or cosine squared. So we've replaced this with our double angle identity. Then the rest stays the same. Plus 10 cosine squared theta equals 8. We can add these two together now because they're both in terms of cosine squared of theta. So 2 cosine squared theta plus 10 cosine squared of theta is 12 cosine squared theta. Let's move this 1 over to the other side, or negative 1 to the other side by adding 1 to both sides. So this is going to be equal to 9. 8 plus 1 is going to be our 9. So now divide by 12 to get rid of that 12. And we get 9/12, which is 3/4. Now we've got cosine squared. Let's square both sides. So if we square this side, we're just going to get cosine theta. Square this, the square root of the numerator is just square root of 3. Sorry, let's not forget our plus or minus. Let's do that right away. And then up on the top we get the square root of 3. On the bottom, square root of 4 is 2. So we have plus or minus the square root of 3 over 2. Now we can look to our unit circle and see where is cosine equal, and remember cosine is our x-coordinate. Where is it equal to either square root of 3 over 2 or negative square root of 3 over 2? So we've got pi over 6, 5 pi over 6, 7 pi over 6, and 11 pi over 6. So those are going to be our 4 angles that are going to give us either positive or negative square root of 3 over 2. So pi over 6, 5 pi over 6, 7 pi over 6, and 11 pi over 6. And those are the 4 angles that are between 0 and 2 pi.